Okay, CCMers, we're talking rhythm notation. So in a lot of music that you're going to encounter, you're going to see this time signature at the beginning. It tells you two pieces of information. How many beats are in a measure? What type of note gets the beat? If you want to just have a sound that lasts 4 beats, it's a whole note. And it just looks like one of these ovals here. Let's say you want to have something that only takes up 2 beats. That's what's called a half note. And it has that open circle that we saw, but it's got a little stem jutting out from the side. 2 half notes cover the same amount of time as 1 whole note. You want something that takes up a quarter of the measure. It lasts 1 beat. You have a quarter note, which again is now a circle, but it's closed. It's going to be blacked out like this. And it's got the stem, just like the half note does. So you have 4 quarter notes that fit into 1 bar of 4/4. So what if you want to get even faster than this? Basically an eighth of a measure, half of a beat, an eighth note, which again has the black note head, but they have the stems, but now they have these little connecting rods here, which we call beams. You might see an eighth note that is just all by itself, in which case instead of the beam, it's got what we call a flag, just to see that difference there. And we said that there are 8 of these eighth notes that fill up an entire measure of 4/4. They're similar to eighth notes, but instead of 1 of these little connecting beams, they have 2 to show that they're twice as fast. And again, just like eighth notes, 16th notes, if you see them by themselves, they would just have 2 flags, let's say like that. So 16 of these fits into a bar of 4/4. So for every type of note, there's an equivalent rest. So just like there's a whole note, there is a whole rest that tells you to pipe shut for 4 beats. Kind of dangles from the from the 4th line of the staff. Half rests, they look similar to whole rests, except they sort of spring up from the 3rd line. Quarter notes, they sort of look like this Harry Potter squiggle. Eighth rests, they kind of look like these little curly cues. 16ths, they look like the 8th rests, except that they have 2 of the little curly cues coming off them. So if you want a detailed breakdown of all these rhythm values and the rests and everything, we've got a chart for you in the video description below. So hopefully that helped make deciphering all these different symbols that you'll encounter on the page a lot easier.